Mal Warfare is the map where we have to escort Orana's transport as it purifies security terminals from a rogue AI. We win the game if she purifies all 5 terminals, but we lose if the enemies or suppression towers destroy the transport. Kill bots spawn from enemy buildings. They cannot be damaged and only despawn upon hitting a kill quota. A laser drill in the enemy base will shoot at your things. Widow mines and spider mines deployed on the map deal 250 damage each and must be destroyed.
Nova, where do we have him?
Oh boy. Yeah, you're really hoping your ally's going to handle the kill bots for this one, and maybe hoping they're going to handle the laser drill for you too. At least you can blow the mines up real good.
Oh yes, you definitely can.
You have a detector here. He's really good at killing mines, and then you have an army that can't feed at all, basically, except for ravens can kind of feed, not with themselves, but with the stuff that they spawn.
Yes.
However, it's not great.
Yes.
Nova, I actually would put an E.
How about you, Twotuuu?
Not good.
Nova's mine clearing is extremely good. Like
extremely
super good. It's really, really good. And if you, of course, you're using P3. If you're not P3, then it's not that good. It's still good, not that good though. P3, your job is basically you're clearing all the enemies around the whole map. I'm not sure how feasible it would be to like make your way to the drill and then eventually like put some liberators nearby and just kill it, and then fly to the airspace and then fly back when
the
it
kill bots
respawns.
pass.
I don't know how feasible that is, but that is an option because since she can make it there safely, she doesn't feed at all. Objective, if you're using P3, you can help with like defense drone and stuff, or like some tanks or something, whatever, some units plus defense drone to help while she's still clearing stuff. So I put her in D.
Okay.
I
So
can see her in D because her mine clearing is so good. Basically, the reason that I said E for her is because I value being able to actually defend the objective quite highly. But she could be D.
all right, Nova gets the D. Raynor, where do we have him?
Raynor, Minesweeper sucks. Laser drill is okay, but like the units he feeds have, I guess if you stim too much or whatever, they might die to the laser and not get fed. That sucks. He sucks at Minesweeper sucks. He's pretty much just a killbot feeder. And if you use his units at the objective, like, well, kind of same with Han Horner, but if there's AoE, that's kind of a problem.
It is a problem.
The good thing is he can mine a lot, so he's really bad against Minesweeper. But if someone else clears the mines, I guess he can do something. He can
also absorb laser drill shots.
Kind of, I guess.
Not kind of. He can really absorb laser drill shots.
Not
with
really.
With his bio, he has so many of them.
That's not great.
That's not what you want the bio to be doing.
That's true, but you know.
That's like just turning the laser. You're just turning the laser drill into an extra large kill bot on top of the actual kill bots.
It's better.
Going to be poor.
It's better for the lasers to be hitting Marines than, for example, hitting Nova or Kerrigan. But
no, I'd rather hit the laser hit Kerrigan.
Yeah, definitely. Well, heck yeah, Kerrigan has plenty of self healing, and she could just summon a worm and get into it. Also, hitting the worm. That's what we want the laser drill actually doing.
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather hit the worm. Anyway,
I'll put Raynor in D.
All right. How about you, Sticksbender?
He's bad Han and Horner. Like, really bad Han and Horner in this case.
All right.
So, yeah. I would agree with putting him in D. This is going to be very D heavy. It's just, this mutation is suffering for the majority of commanders.
guys
There's
will
going to be a
be-
couple of people who are just up in S and A are like, oh wow, what this is hard.
You guys will be
What's
not
up?
surprised to know that once again Lila made this look like a complete joke.
Oh yeah, well there's a reason. There's a reason he has not soloed this with Raynor. He
That's
cannot.
true. That's true. He did
You
snipe the
cannot.
laser drill at the back using the Hyperion, and just kept
Yes.
smashing the laser.
Which you can do, which you probably should do. It's like a 15-second cooldown on jump, so you can always hop the Hyperion back there during its runs.
And smash the laser.
Adds that to the errand list.
So I would say that
You
at
can
least
play
that's
this
some merit on him, aside from feeding. So
That
it's
is-
feeding
it is
and
something.
laser drill clearing. So that's 2 jobs. Hey, that's right in D. Wait, no. 2 jobs actually. Right in C. Yeah, 1 job is D. 2
but like
jobs
if
is
you're
C.
if you're feeding with Jimmy, that's all you're doing basically.
And you're
is
killing
having
the
your
laser.
Your top bar kills the laser drill, but the laser drill cooldown is much shorter than your top bar cooldown,
Ah, that's
and
true.
you're
That's
feeding.
true.
But you're having to dedicate your entire money to feeding, and you're not clearing the map. Like you're not doing anything else basically. And mine sweeping, like he's really bad at killing mines. Like we need to emphasize, he has no mobile detection, and his marines don't outrange mines, so the mines will hit your marines if you try to clear with them. You can't clear with marines, and you
Alright.
need scan.
Let's
Terrible. He's
put him in D
terrible at
then.
mines.
Prestige doesn't matter because he's D. Stetboy, where do we have him?
Stetmann. Gee, where does he go? Where do we think this guy goes? With the cheapest Zerglings, actually cheaper than non-P1 Zagara in practice, and a hero unit who is a ranged detector, which has a strong AoE nuke to clear an entire minefield
And can
instantly.
activate defensive drone for free on the cooldown.
And he has like constant map vision everywhere that can't be wiped out by the kill bots, because even when they shoot the satellites, they still give vision. And he's able to get his reinforcements, like get his Zerglings to a kill bot really fast because of blue zone, so he can zip over to a kill bot if a kill bot spawns in an awkward place and ends up somewhere where it shouldn't be. And if you even want to, you can transition into spawning free units and throwing those free units at the enemy objective until they collapse.
Throwing everywhere.
Gee,
Throw
I
them at
wonder
them
where
at the
this
tower,
guy's gonna end up.
throw them at the wave, throw them at the bots, throw them at the mines, throw them at your ally, throw them at the Rana.
Just throw everywhere. Yeah. Stetmann's ass.
Alright, how about you, Twotuuu?
I don't think he's actually like easy.
Well, no, he's not
he's
easy.
the best one.
It's not
he's
easy.
the best one. But I
Yes.
don't think he's easy.
I don't
He
think
doesn't make the mutation easy, so I'm not putting him in S.
Aww.
I'm putting him in A.
Aww. He's
Because
I
S
would
means like you make it easy, and it's not easy. You still have to do a lot of work. It's still a lot of control. And spreading satellites with the drill around is like, you have to be careful with that.
That is true.
So he is the best, but not S.
I
not-
actually don't think he's the best, by the way, even ironically.
Really? What I did for the laser, by the way, is in the early game, of course, the laser, if you put the satellite out too far, the laser will shoot it. So what I did is I waited for 2 charges. I put them both down in the same spot, or right next to each other. The laser destroys one, but the other one gets to spawn. Yay! Anyway, so it's not unanimous, therefore it's not S. Let's put him in A. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, he's pretty good at everything, but like, man, if you're not careful with those overseers, or like before you get queens, you need overseers.
Yes.
If you're not careful with them, they're gonna get blasted by widow mines.
Yes, they
Until you
will.
get critical mass, it's kind of actually really slow clearing stuff. So yeah, he's still good because he's Stukov, but so he's A.
How about you, Sticksbender?
I mean, I know that Stukov is like the one guy I soloed with, but I didn't find it like it wasn't a hard solo compared to a lot of solos I've done on different mutations. This was not that hard of a Stukov solo, and that's without any ally at all, doing everything. I'm feeding and clearing the mines and like everything.
Yes, that's what solo means, Sticksbender.
P3 Stukov is good. It's
Yes.
really good.
I saw it for
Um,
myself.
I'm not sure. I'm not convinced on Stukov not being S.
Unfortunately, that's not the metric here. You have to convince Twotuuu that he is S if you want him to be S.
Yeah, I know, but like the point is, yeah, Stukov is very strong. Yeah,
He is.
yeah, you do have to keep overseers alive in the early game, and that is a bit annoying. This is true. However, you do have to remember that overseers do like many, just like observers, overseers can just siege up for extra vision radius. So that means that they can effectively see from really far away. So they don't ever have to really get like at all close to the minefield. Like as soon as you see the edge of the minefield, you just siege up the overseer in place, and now it can see the whole minefield. So you shouldn't really be losing them that much to mines. You do have to worry about the laser drill
Laser,
deciding to
yes.
aggro on the overseer, which is
Yes.
a nuisance. But
And like Corsairs and Scourge when there's nothing else on the ground or in the air.
yes, there is that. But then you get queens, and once you get queens, now you make your infested blob have detection. Your infested blob, by the way, does outrange mines, and you can also get another thing that really feels convenient, honestly, for being able to like really make sure there's no mines around the objective. If you use a top bar and then put the queen detection on it, yeah, his top bar has a huge amount of vision radius. Especially the Alexander actually has like one of the biggest vision radius in the game. So that
Big.
with
It's
the detection
big.
radius really make sure, are there any mines in the very vague remote vicinity of the objective? No?
It's
Okay, good.
big.
Are
Are you convinced,
I don't know.
Twotuuu?
I'd put him in S, but it depends on if Twotuuu his degrees.
I didn't think this was that easy. I mean, it wasn't hard, but I don't think it was like that because you can't be like 30 APM Stukov doing this. There's no way.
No.
It's just like I was playing normal like 100 something whatever APM, just like doing everything, and I was floating like thousands of minerals because I was so busy moving bunkers, retargeting, and
me,
moving my barracks forward.
The only thing
Just
that
like
makes this a thing for me, or for the only argument for Stukov not being that high, is the third terminal. You can't get your creep there fast enough, so your infestor can be really slow unless you really stall out. You stall out the second terminal, and you use your overlords to manually spread creep on the way to the third terminal, and not get them shot. And then have really good luck at not a lot of mines in that area, so you can actually spread creep there. That's why he's ultimately not that easy for me. Although you can do it, but like needs some.
I wouldn't
some
recommend
stuff to
doing
go
the
your way.
overlord spreading, by the way. That's just gonna end up losing a bunch of overlords to kill bots for no reason.
Okay.
Not worth it.
So how do you spread the
just
creep to?
saunter.
How do you spread the creep to the third terminal?
Yeah, you kind of do have to stall. It is true. You kind of have to stall out the first one. I kind of just like, right. I've gotten used to just like
Doing
without
it.
thinking, going like, oh yeah, it's the first terminal and I'm Stukov. I
It's
gotta
very
stall.
unintuitive. But anyway, it's still really good. The only thing I'm really salty about is Stetboy not being S. I do think he is S, but again, not unanimous there.
I'd agree with. I personally feel like Stukov is better than Stetmann anyway, so I'm agreeing with Stetmann being A.
All right, Swann, where do we have him?
Swann. Oh well, it was fun having two people who are really good at the game. Does Swann have anything going for him here?
He can tank the kill bots with the floating command center.
You need to know how to do it.
You need to know how to do it.
I don't recommend it.
I don't either,
Yeah.
but Sticksbender asked what he can do, so I gave him what he can do.
Wow. Yay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He bad.
He bad.
Floating factories aren't even detectors, so it's not like you could just go like, I'm gonna laser drill the mines. You can laser drill the mines of science vessels to get vision, but like it's not good. And your clearing is just not that great aside from like floating factory laser drill thing. But then a killbot shows up, and killbots have a lot of DPS, so Yeah, no, Swansea, I think.
All
Swann's
right.
bad.
How about you, Twotuuu?
I don't think anyone is F just because like the least they can do is throw workers at things.
Yes.
So
You
his
also have
clearing
to.
is really bad. Concentrated beam, but that's like kind of guessing. Or like if you kind of know or like you have seen it before, then you can kind of kill one cluster and hopefully the rest of the beam like kill some stuff along the way. You can also pulse cannon a cluster or like enemies plus a cluster. Feeding is just like he can't defend the objective because he can't use his structures and he can't build an army. Not really. He's E.
All right. There we go. Our first E. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus. He's well. If he throws serious turrets, they're gonna get shot by the laser drill, so he can't kill them as well as he would normally. The defending objective, he can do it once the mines are cleared because Tychus just stands there. He can bail out his outlaws if a killbot gets close. His feeding is like you just make like 4 command centers and just keep making SCVs. Or you use Vega, Steel, and Infester and then throw stuff, make it Infested Terrans.
That's creative.
But
I approve that.
yeah, it's not that good though, so D.
All right. How about you, Sticksbender?
Yeah, that basically sums it up. He's just kind of in the blob of people who are like, oh, killbots. I can't play the game.
Maybe it's actually C because I think he can deal with the mines and the laser by just getting out of vision. But yes, point taken.
Yeah, laser drill being like the problem is that if you're like having to constantly get in and out of vision, it's not like he even has a dash to do that, so it's not great.
All right, let's
It
put
is
him in
not
D.
great.
Vorazun, where do we have him?
Oh boy, she can't feed. Her eyesight is bad, and she's probably making melee units. So, I mean, well, technically melee units. In this case, the melee units thing is more a matter of they will decide to aggro on things and walk into melee range, less a matter of they actually are functionally melee units. If there was a hold fire button on Dark Templar, it'd be so useful for Vorazun, ironically.
Yeah.
Anyways, that being aside, she's bad. You have time stop, and time stop is like the one good thing you have basically because that's a way to say like, oh no, the killbots are like hitting the objective or something. I tell them to stop doing that for a bit so that the killbot feeder can get into position for that. And high stop does reveal the mines, and
Yes.
these days it does spawn a bunch of Dark Templar to clear said mines.
All right.
You got time stop and that's it. That's like your one. That's your redeeming
That's your one thing.
quality. That's the redeeming quality.
Letter.
D or E.
How about you, Twotuuu?
Vorazun actually feeds okay in the mid to late game because you just mass tons of oracles and you dump stasis wards, and as long as
Wait, they
the
count?
oracles themselves, yeah,
They
count.
do count. The problem is you have to not have the oracle anywhere near the killbot because the oracles have a higher targeting priority than the
Right,
stasis wards. And if the killbot sees the oracle, it'll just walk over all those stasis wards and wasting them.
Yes,
They'll all trigger and
I'm
not
still
count as a
salty
kill.
about that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, I'm just still remembering how we get to all be salty about the fact that spider mines don't count for some reason.
Yeah, right? They should count.
If you could feed with spider mines,
that would be
Jimmy
so
would
good for
suddenly
Jimmy.
be a Zerg commander out of nowhere.
Right? Anyway.
Yes, but yeah, but so Vorazun early game you actually have like time stop plus invisible units are great
Invisible man.
because like you can have an invisible oracle over invisible field mines and you can kill them. Yeah, but it's not great. So
Letter.
I still put D.
All right,
D.
unanimous. Vorazun. Zagara, where do we have him?
Vorazun.
I would not use P1 because P1 does not clear mines at all. Evasive, the Zergling evasion is good against the laser because you get to dodge attacks and then it'll switch targets and then dodge and then switch targets. That's nice. She's a Zerg. She's a good Zerg, so she feeds really well against killbots. And you P3 mine clearing probably best bet. If you're the designated feeder only, then you can use P1. Then you get lots of free units. I put her in A.
How about you, Sticksbender?
Yep. Free stuff. I would also note, by the way, yes, Banelings are definitely better than Zerglings at feeding, actually, because of the fact they split into 3 pieces. So
3 pieces.
yeah, Banelings are really good at feeding.
You wouldn't like make Banelings just for feeding, right?
I might. It makes it so that I get more feed per mineral, and yes, I am spending a little bit of gas on it, but technically the overall cost of a Baneling is less than 3 Zerglings still. So,
okay. Oh,
I would
okay.
still
I
use
thought it
Banelings
just
in
would
offense.
be
or
the
is it
3 ones.
less? I think it's about similar, actually. Yeah. I don't know. Basically, I think that if I'm producing Banelings to kill stuff, and then I go and say, oh, I feed if the Bane... I'm not upset about feeding if Banelings, basically. They're about as cost-efficient as Zerglings, so... yeah.
Okay. I was actually a bit iffy on the mine clearing part. She's okay, but I wouldn't put her near.
Yeah, her mine clearing isn't amazing, but just the fact that she can just nullify the... And she can
I was
clear
just
mines.
giving the reason
it's not
why.
that she can't. She's just not great at it.
I was giving you the reason why I had her in B, but A is also
Yes,
fine.
fair enough.
Let's put her in A. Zeratul, where do we have him?
Zeratul can't feed, but he's so strong just as a commander and he's got great mind killing. The reason I bring that up is because someone actually managed to, like, he's the only non-Zerg who someone's managed to solo this with asterisk. They did have to use like loading saved game basically by reverting to an earlier state in a replay.
It has been, the guy has done one without that.
Oh, never mind. Zeratul is the only non-Zerg who soloed this because Zeratul's that broken. Yeah, Zeratul's such a broken commander. Anyways, you've got great mind clearing. You're pretty good at handling the laser drill, like really good at it. It's just a matter of
feeding.
Oh, kill bots. I guess I have to spend 100% of my money on feeding those.
Yes, letter.
Pretty much. For the purposes of this list, probably C.
How about you, Twotuuu?
He feeds, like, if you can use P2 to scale, or you can use because it's long map, or P3 because you're mainly using Zeratul, and you're just gonna spin around and clear stuff, which is gonna be really good. His feeding is much better than any non-Zerg commander. Well, actually, that's not true. He's really good. He's the best Protoss feeder, that's for sure.
Yes.
I put him.
Well, in Phoenix, he might be arguably worse than Phoenix, but he's better at literally everything else.
Yeah, I put him in B because he's invisible too, so like he doesn't get hit by laser, and if you're nearby, you just blink away.
Yeah.
And come back in a little later when he's invincible for once every 5 seconds.
You don't even have to blink away basically because of the invincibility every 5 seconds, because that means the laser drill never gets to ramp up its damage against him.
Yes.
Yeah. And then like you also can rally your robos to your void array, and then your observers just appear in the center and then feed the kill bots.
Right.
Yes.
Observers
and your
go
probes.
The void array. And
the probes.
Yes.
So the middle, when you're in the middle, that's when like the killbots cross paths with Arana and like might kill her, and that's like one of the most crucial parts of this mission for any commander. And Zeratul just like sends stuff there immediately.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I put him in B.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The only reason my C was iffy was because I was considering B, and with that extra like how it works, it's like yeah, he's definitely B.
I actually had him in A, but that's fine. For me,
Not quite.
he's kind of in the same boat as Zagara ish, because Zagara can do 3 jobs really well and 1 job kind of okay, and that 1 job is minesweeping. Zeratul can do 3 jobs really well and 1 job kind of and that 1 job is feeding. So for me, they're both good at 3 things and kind of at 1 thing.
Killbots are a bigger threat than Minesweeper, to be honest, past the
That's
early
true.
game.
I'm just saying that's my
or
reasoning.
technically, early on, Zagara's ironically got pretty good mine clearing for early on because you just Baneling barf at the mines, and even if you can't see them, the Baneling barf still explodes on them.
Okay, anyway, I'm just explaining my reasoning. So anyway, that will be... This is strange looking tier list. 4 guys in A, 2 guys in B, 2 guys... We almost had no guy, 1 guy, only 1 guy in B. But anyway, 2 guys in B, 2 guys in C, like 9 guys in D, the Fellowship of the D, and 1 guy in E.
We might demote someone in D, to be honest.
Oh yeah, who was that guy? Who was that guy we were talking about demoting to E?
There's quite a few candidates. Manx, Phoenix, Carax.
Phoenix, Carax. Do we demote Carax? Was Carax what we were talking about? Do we demote him to E?
Carax is the one we were talking about. I think there's I feel like there are people who are worse than Carax in D potentially. It's kind of we'll order D and we'll see if we want to draw a cutoff within D.
All right. So, are we sure we don't want to put Stetmann in S? He feels like he's better than these 3 guys.
No.
I think he's the best one, but I don't think he's S.
I think that both Stukov and Stetmann are better than Kerrigan and Zagara, but not that much. So, especially not that much better than Kerrigan, because worms are good.
I think
they all seem reasonably close.
I think Stetmann's better because
Zagara's the worst one.
Zagara's the worst one. Yeah, I agree.
Zagara's definitely the worst.
She's kind of in minesweeping, but I think Stetmann's minesweeping is just head and shoulders better than Stukov's. With the Igor and the Zerglings.
Igor, and then
Zerglings. You remember, you don't get hardened energy shield on your Zerglings, which means 1, they do get 1-shot by mines, so you can like just lose all those Zerglings to mines, which is very inconvenient for feeding a killbot. And 2, the Zerglings are actually really bad at actually fighting because they have to be in order to be able to feed killbots.
That's true, but still, the Super Gary is just so good at minesweeping that it almost doesn't matter how bad everything else is. That's why I think he's slightly better than Stukov.
Even if we say that Stetmann is better than Stukov, they're not a tier gap. There's no way there's a tier gap between them. So
well,
I'm not even convinced there's a tier gap between those 2 and Kerrigan, to be honest, which is part of why it's like I'm okay with them being an A, because Kerrigan's pretty good too.
Okay, so rankings wise, Stetboy, Stukov, Kerrigan, Zagara for A.
I personally put Stukov first, but yes, other than that, that's the ranking order.
Okay, Stetboy, Stukov, Kerrigan, Zagara. For B, who's better between... Well, I would say Zeratul. Slightly better than Han and Horner.
Zeratul.
Yeah, it's Zeratul.
I had him in A.
Sorry, Han and Horner.
Still top 6. I wouldn't feel bad for Han and Horner.
Yeah.
Top 6?
Yeah, they did okay. They did okay.
In a very D-heavy tier list, B is really good. For C, who's better between Abathur? Oh, Abathur's way better than... I like how earlier in the tier list we were debating about we're saying that Dahaka is so much worse than Abathur, and like they're the only guys in C tier. We're about to, I was thinking of we would have like 6 guys in C tier, and Abathur top, and 4 guys, and then Dahaka. As it turns out, they're the only 2 guys in C.
I'm still not even convinced that Dahaka is better than everyone in D, but we'll have to see. Well, again, we'll just let's order D and then figure it out from there.
All right, Sticksbender wants to order D. Who's top of D?
This is such a hard question.
Do I break out the wheel, the spinning wheel?
Is it Nova? Maybe.
Nova's definitely the easiest to use.
But
And
the
to
problem
do
is
what
she's
her job.
so bad at the actual defending the objective itself.
How about
while
Arcturus on
doing
the
that.
grounds that feeding is the most important task?
But he can't really feed.
Forever?
I'm gonna be honest
That's
with
true,
you.
that's true.
Honestly, Phoenix is probably better at feeding
Phoenix?
than Arcturus, but Phoenix kind of has to choose between feeding or doing anything else. So, oh no, the best at feeding is Vorazun, as long as they don't aggro on the Oracle.
Yes.
They have to get to that.
Wow.
It's hard to get to that point. Like
It
you
is
need
hard to
enough.
get to the point.
You would need Mass Oracle to be your army too. And then the mines, technically you can clear mines because the oracles are invisible, but one stray detector wanders over and you lose your entire army in an instant. Fun times, fun times.
Very fun times. Is there a clear bottom of D? Like Carax?
Yeah, Karax, and potentially I would put Mangsk down there personally.
Arcturus? Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Early
okay
game,
with that.
His ESO clearing is unreliable.
Early game Mangsk slow.
I'm okay with Arcturus being that low because I did use him and he didn't feel that good for me.
Yeah, he's not that good. I'm not sure you understand. 40 minerals is not good enough to feed killbots. It needs to be 25.
Observer costs.
Observer costs
More
25 minerals, but it
minerals.
costs a ton of gas. So
And then
it's still not 25 resources. Even for Phoenix, it's 40 resources.
Is
It's
there a
just 10
clear
minerals?
Is there a clear third worst in D? Raynor?
Probably, yeah.
Probably Raynor.
But he
We're
is
ordering
really
the
good
other
at-
way now.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's almost even an argument that Raynor's worse than Mangsk. It's like, no, Mangsk's worse. But
Okay, now we have the top
well,
6
they're
of D.
tied. They're both bad. They're both very bad.
We have the top 6 of D. How do we order these?
Well, you already said like they're D. If you use them, use whatever you want. So
We call it like a 6-way
At this-
tie? I wouldn't be
at
mad
this
at
point,
that.
it's just like
Recording's already
I
1
would
hour,
say
20 minutes long.
I feel like I can make a top 3 of D, and that being probably Nova, Alarak, Artanis are probably the top 3 for D.
Nova Alarak Artanis?
Yeah. Because they all have very healthy access to detection, and all have they all have healthy mine clearing.
Phoenix
Like, they're
has the
good at
Arbiter
clearing
suit.
mines, those 3 are good at clearing mines, and they can sort of
Tychus
have
is very good
an
at
ability
clearing
to
mines.
worker feed killbots because they'll sort of have money lying around, but not really. Artanis is the worst of those 3.
Tychus is pretty good
Definitely.
at defeating mines. After you
Tychus
get your
is pretty good at defeating mines,
After
but
you get
like,
your-
Tychus himself doesn't outrange mines, and so it's gonna be you
Serious.
have to get out your mine clearing Sirius first, which he can clear out mines.
he is seriously
He's
good.
not that fast. He is good.
Seriously good.
I'd probably put him. He's similar. I'd put him in maybe 4th place. Maybe you swap Tychus and Artanis. Not sure. Yeah, Artanis is probably-
Phoenix wasn't he like a C level power, but just really like mechanically demanding for this?
So
specific
mechanically
one?
demanding. Oh my goodness.
I don't,
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness.
If you're not doing the killbot feeding, I don't think he's very mechanically demanding at all. It's just that
You can do the
well,
killbot feeding though. And
Can help.
with Caldalis at the center, you can defend the transport. And you can take out the suppression towers.
Yeah.
I
And
took
also
out
the
towers.
mines. Wait, you did? I thought it helped out, but
I took out this.
oh yeah, you had
took out
rates.
the-
You used rates. Yeah,
Yeah, I had rates.
you're very good at destroying towers. I was standing
Rates
at
are in fact very good at destroying towers. Yes.
I was standing at the transport and just chomping down all those
Ah.
waves. No,
Yeah.
free kills.
Yeah. You know what?
Okay, so top
Yeah,
4.
Phoenix could be actually pretty good. fair enough.
Phoenix actually opens Robo, so he gets detection really fast.
He opens Robo, so he gets detection really fast. Yeah, like Alarak fast. Okay, we can put the Phoenix at the top. Well, is it Phoenix or Nova at the top?
Phoenix Nova? Because I get detection really early.
Get detection really early.
So okay.
Yeah, I could say Phoenix. Phoenix at the top, then Nova.
Detection and feeding, both good. Yeah, all right, and then Nova.
Detection and not really feeding, but kind of.
Minesweeping. Detection, minesweeping.
Detection, minesweeping, and kind of feeding because if you since you are rushing out a starport for liberators anyways, if you make all the Raven charges and just spit out all the Raven spawns to feed killbots,
that's nowhere near enough.
That'll actually handle killbots for like the first 10 minutes, sort of. So if you have an ally who's like they're feeding killbots, but maybe they're just a sluggish player, they're taking a while to get their stuff built up, taking a moment to get their economy going, you can not get screwed by that because you have turrets to feed to the killbots.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, not nothing.
So who's third, Tychus or? Wait, Tychus below below Alarak and Artanis.
Yeah, we can switch Tychus and Artanis. I'm not convinced on what order they are, but Alarak is above both of them. So.
All right, then Vorazun, Raynor, Arcturus, then Carax. All right, then Swann at the bottom. All right, we did it, guys. We did it.
Just all right. Do we demote anyone from D to E? Do we demote the bottom three? Honestly, is what I'd kind of feel like.
Oh, do we
even the bottom?
Raynor, Arcturus,
there does like if I look at D tier, there does kind of feel like a distinct gap between the top 5 and the bottom 4. Vorazun kind of like bridges that gap by being kind of in between, but the jump from Tychus down to Raynor is big.
Well, there's an Artanis and the Vorazun between them, so it is kind of big.
Well, okay, the jump from whichever, if you put Artanis below Tychus, the jump from Artanis down to Raynor is still big. The jump between the top 5 and Raynor is big. Vorazun is kind of like creating a bridge on that gap, but I feel like there's an argument you could put those 3 into E with Swann.
Vorazun is big.
Swann and F.
Swann and F.
Could put Swann and F.
We could put Swann and F. Yeah, let's have Raynor, Arcturus, then Carax and E, and Swann and F. All right.
But I think
because he really does nothing. Like when I was playing him,
suppression
if it weren't
towers.
for the command center trick, if it weren't for the command center trick,
there's no way.
By the way, your ally can ruin, as you guys saw.
What? No, there's no way. Really? No, it's not. There's no way ally can ruin that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Swann and F.
Do we want to?
Does nothing.
Do we want to promote
the requirement of saying they have to hurt your ally to be an F basically means that with 95% of mutators, it's physically impossible to be F. So there's that. So yeah, Swann F, it's fine.
Do we want to promote Phoenix to C?
No, he's too close to Nova, who's in turn too close to Alarak. Like the top 5 in D are pretty close feeling, to be honest.
All right. Well, this tier list now looks like a giant ugly F, so let's leave it at that. Guys, watch Twotuuu and Sticksbender's channels, especially Twotuuu. He's close to hitting 1,000 subs. And when you get 1,000 subs on YouTube, you will be able to monetize videos. So guys, do the thing. Go to Twotuu's channel, do the thing. I will see you guys next time.